name is Edwin, and I'm the Systems and Compliance Lead at the university. I basically work on business technologies on the SAP system. Done lots of work on SAP workflow, and then took over the SAP portal project ever since we started. A little bit about the university. We're made up of 4 campuses that are spread out throughout the state. The largest and flagship campus is the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. And as you can see, that's about 49% of the student population of almost 50,000 students. We also have a medical center that's well renowned for research in infectious diseases. And we have 2 smaller campuses. We have about 26,000 employees, and our student base is also part of that. There's some students that are employed on campus, and then we have about 12,000 permanent staff. We've been running SAP since 1999, and our current version is ECC 6.0, running NetWeaver 7.4. We also have SAP BW, and we recently migrated the database to HANA. So on that system, we're running NetWeaver 7.5. And we have a full complement of staff to support the SAP environment. That includes some in-house developers, maybe 8 developers that we have. We have functional leads that represent each area within the SAP system. And we have about 6 of those. And we have folks doing security and also about 4 basic staff. Okay, so driven by user feedback and expectations, we wanted to take on the world of mobility. That's the question that kept coming up over and over again. The organization wanted that, and we struggled on how to meet that challenge over the years. We do have now a new SAP portal that we managed to, thanks to Neptune Software, do it in a cost-effective way using Fiori design principles, and you all know about Neptune. So today I'll just give you a brief history of how we got here in terms of how we've used SAP Portal in the past, and our drivers for migrating to the Fiori Launchpad, and some design innovations thanks to the Neptune platform. So we internally branded our SAP Portal, and we call it Firefly. So internally it's just known as Firefly, and so that allowed us to keep the name because it's recognized. So even though it's no longer running on the Java server, it's running now on the ECC system, our users just know it as Firefly. So we've been at this for a while. In the past, we've dabbled with the web GUI for HTML on the ITS. Did a little bit of BSP. When the portal came about, we used some abstract Java components, did some Java, WebDimpro, very painful. SAP had a product called Visual Composer that held some promise, but that was short-lived. We also then moved on to ABAP WebDimpro, plus Flow Plan Manager. NetWeaver Business Client we considered, but we did not use. Also from an HR ESS point of view, we considered HR Renewal, another SAP product. We did not use that. We came very close to buying in on the Sybase Unwired platform when SAP made that acquisition, and we were assured this was the one. And we came really, really close to setting up that entire platform. And as we were doing that, SAP Screen Personas came about. We did that, got trained up, used Silverlight, and it allowed you a hub deployment. And Then there was Screen Personas 3.0. Then we stopped on 2.0, and we were going to do that instead. And there was no hub deployment option on there. You actually had to run it on your ECC system. And then Fiori came from SAP, and we were told this was the one. And this time we figured we should go ahead and do it. And we looked at the different development options. There was River IDE, locally installed way to develop SAP UI5 applications. That was just for beta. The full application was SAP Web IDE, which is only in the cloud. And in our organization, we were not comfortable having a cloud connector. So that wasn't really an option. And as you can see, over the years, we've been considering and trying to keep up with the UI technologies. Into the future, we are willing to embrace Fiori. This is a screenshot from in the early days, in early 2000, where we had a web GUI running and a few ESS applications. Our current, or our ABAP Web Dimpro presence, this was up until May 15th. That's when we went live with the Neptune Launchpad. It was all ABAP Web Dimpro, and most of these applications, we ended up with custom development. So if you want to understand what I'm about to show you in terms of what we developed, it was made easier in that we were comfortable creating custom applications to begin with. And one of the promises that you have with Neptune Software is to be able to reuse your ABAP code and take advantage of all that ABAP code base that you have. And so that was the perfect platform for us. Also, we have MSS, which is Manager Self-Service, and these were all the custom applications that we had on ABAP Web Dimpro. We did some surveys leading up to this in 2015, and this is some of the comments we used to get every year, and they got really old. The users really wanted something modern. One of my favorites is the third from the bottom. This program with the fonts used looks like it came from the 80s. And we had to take that, and it was tough. And we were stuck on how could we meet users' expectations and offer them something modern. And of course, we asked the usage of devices that would like to be able to access Firefly. And we realized we were in the mobile age, and everybody really had a thirst and an appetite to use mobile applications. So this, it's been 2 years ago, I met Neptune at SAP TechEd, and at that time also there was a lot of excitement on Fiori. And so we've also struggled over the years being able to enhance pre-delivered applications. We have used pre-delivered applications, but we found that it's much easier if you just own the code base. Your developers are accountable. You don't have to worry about OSS nodes. So we found that we could address 2 projects, which was mobility and also revamp our portal. Okay. So the question in our organization was, how can we do mobility? And my team's answer was, we should move to Fiori on the portal. Okay. And that did not go over very well. But I think now they realize where we were coming from, because we knew that it was a responsive platform which would allow us to springboard into mobility. Okay? So we were almost sucked into just developing a couple of apps and still have the old portal, and that would never go away. So the answer that we came back with as a team was, let's just redo the portal using UI5, and then from there, we can then move into mobility. So I will try give you a quick demo. I'll drag this across. Yep, this is working. Okay. Um, yeah, so this is our launchpad that we have here. And no, we are not running SP03. We just took the background from the Belize theme and did that. So we do have, I was very impressed to see our French colleague who is here, that they also did what we're doing, replace an entire portal, a pretty ambitious project. And so as you can see here, most of our applications are sitting over in the employee self-service side. And as we did this, we found it easy to consolidate and simplify the applications. In the past, if you recall that screenshot that I had of the employee self-service ABAP Web Dimpro application, the About Me or personal information section was comprised of individual links. So you would go to view your address, you come out, you go to, so we adopted what at least the starter applications that Neptune had and came up with a profile. So that shows you everything in one screen. You can navigate and view all the information that you want to see. We consistently used the back button to close the application. The default behavior out of the Neptune Launchpad is to keep the app open. We found that was confusing the users from where they were. Okay, so remember the ABAP Web Dimpro applications, when they exited out, the application was gone. We tried to keep them open, but we got so much, so many feedback items from that. Same thing with my employment. Everything is one. The old application, I wish I could flip back and forth, but you'll get the idea. Everything is just in one, and you can just navigate as you please. Again, once you exit back out, you can see that. Paycheck is just a list of paychecks. You can do, you've seen that, I'm not going to show you that. You can also access your W-2. I'll go into that. I do have you can all see my last four. And so this is a great example of some innovations that we picked up thanks to Neptune, in that all our PDFs, they display as an image. So that allows us cross browser and device support. And in all of them, we have a consistent button at the bottom that says download to print. So when you click that, a PDF version is downloaded for your own personal use. Okay? You can also enroll for online delivery. As per the regulations in the country, you have to give the users. You can also change your tax information. So if you can notice, that is 3 applications in the old world that was combined into one. I'll switch over to my staff. Well, leave request, you've all seen a leave request. A really great application that took us a lot of time to design and develop is the benefits application. And what this allows an employee to see is what they are currently enrolled in, and see the information in a consistent manner, and see what insurance they have, and if they want to know information about the plan, they can do that and view some documentation. They also have a tab, which was not there in the old application, of what they're not enrolled in. And throughout the year, they can just shop around and view information about that. So what's great about this application is that benefits enrollment is usually a painful process for our users, in that they only do it once a year. So it's really hard for them to navigate through the application, we've realized in the past. So what we've done is we've created the same navigation that they will experience in the enrollment portion of benefits in the participation. So the same way they view the information is the same way they're going to change it come the end of the year. So I think that was a really good innovation that was done there. And as well, if they want to see a confirmation statement at the bottom there, they can view a confirmation statement of all their benefits. And if you can see at the bottom there, there is a download to print, and we also offer an email. If they click on that, it will just send that to their email. So, how am I doing on time here? Good? Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to switch over. So we're covering the full gamut of all employee self-service applications as they had before. We support single sign-on to Concur. If I click on here, it takes me to Concur single sign-on. So we kept all of that functionality. Neptune's platform delivered as promised. All the promises that they made to allow us to reuse our code, to allow us to retrain our ABAP developers. A lot of them were reluctant and scared, but we managed to do it. We did it with about 5 developers in total. We had 2 consultants that came in to help out with that. We found we had to manage our transports a little bit better for the sheer volume. This took us about 9 months to complete. Beware of the double clicker. We found this out when we went live. We found this users that double click everything, and if you and you have to basically turn off or disable the button on the first click, or set the set busy delay to 0. Okay, otherwise you'll send 2 AJAX requests to the back end. We found this the hard way. It is possible to migrate an entire portal. I was impressed to see, like I said, our French colleague there, that they're embarking on the same thing. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's a pretty stressful project to do. It's changing so many things, and we have simplified our landscape. We are going to phase out our portal system. DRP will be easier disaster recovery in that we have less landscapes. Upgrades will be much more proficient. Return on investment on the ECC application servers. This is huge. We have about 7 application servers on our ECC system. We have also proved that the Web AS is a powerful internet server. It can cope and handle web-based traffic. And the applications being stateless, there is actually an improved performance that we've found. And browser quirks do not go away. IE11 has been a real pain. And you have to do a lot of testing, especially trying to do something this ambitious.